If you're looking for specialty paints and coatings, you can probably get them at Eastwood. And today in the Eastwood Garage, we're going to show you how Ryan restored the entire engine compartment on his '79 Ford truck. We'll cover everything from the different methods of cleaning and stripping old rust and paint to all the different coatings and paints that will provide the appearance and durability you want. We're even going to give you some tips on how to clean up your wiring to get factory-like connections and make the harnesses look great again. Remember, if you want to visit Eastwood at any time during the video, simply click or tap the button in the top corner. In this video, we're going to see the Eastwood 2K AeroSpray used a lot, from the engine to many of the components under the hood. So I'd like to explain the technology before we get started so you understand how it works and why we're using it. Although it comes in an aerosol can, it is actually a highly durable two-component paint like you would typically spray out of a paint gun. Inside the can is a bladder that contains the activator. When you press the button in the bottom of the can, it breaks the seal on the bladder and releases the activator into the paint. Let's take a look at this can we've cut open. You can see the bladder inside the can. Using the cap, you depress the button in the bottom of the can, which breaks the seal on the activator. With the bladder removed from the can, you can see how it breaks the seal to release the activator into the paint. Simply shake for a couple minutes and you have a coating that looks great and is much more durable than a standard aerosol can. Let's look at a test we did to compare durability between a standard aerosol and the 2K AeroSpray. In this test, we wiped a standard aerosol paint with acetone as well as one sprayed with 2K AeroSpray. The standard paint wiped off while the AeroSpray had the durability to resist chemicals. And that's the durability you want in a coating, especially when you're spraying under the hood. Remember, it's a two-component paint, so make sure you take the proper safety precautions when you're spraying. It's also great for small areas or if you don't have a paint gun or a compressor to run a paint gun. Or if you have parts and primer and you need to sand some away to do body work, instead of mixing paint in a gun and then having to clean everything up, you can simply spray the area with the 2K AeroSpray. You're also going to see us use pre-paint prep at nearly every step to clean and degrease the parts prior to spraying primer and paint. You always want a clean area for best adhesion, and pre will give you the results you need. Now let's get started tearing apart the truck. As you can see, the truck shows the wear from years of abuse. It's been repainted, it's rusty and tired. The wiring needs replaced, and Ryan's even installing a new engine from ATK. The first step was to remove the hood, fenders, radiator, and support, and anything else that could be easily unbolted. The gantry crane made removing the engine safe and simple, and really made the job easy. The new engine from ATK already arrived and it's on our engine stand, but before we show you how to paint it, we've got more work to do. Ryan put the transmission and components on the teardown table to clean them off. The teardown table is designed for this type of work and can hold up to 1,000 pounds and has a drain pan built into it to catch the fluids. Ryan smoothed out some areas on the transmission before applying the contour aluminum filled compound, which is great because it's reinforced with aluminum for added strength and it works well in areas prone to moisture. Once it was sanded smooth, the trans and transfer case were cleaned with pre-paint prep and covered in self-etching primer, which will provide good durability and adhesion on the cast surface. Ryan top-coated the trans with Alumiblast to match that original aluminum appearance and then sprayed the transfer case with spray gray to give it a cast steel look. To get better appearance and protection, everything was top-coated with a 2K AeroSpray Matte Clear. This will not only make the parts look great, but because it's a two-component paint, it will provide additional durability. Now it's time to move on to the engine, which was prepped with down-to-metal paint stripper to remove the factory coating, which quickly and easily removed it. With the engine clean with pre-paint prep, it was time to spray 2K AeroSpray high-temperature engine primer. This will provide the heat resistance we need in a primer, as well as promote better adhesion for the top coat. Ryan then used the 2K AeroSpray Forward Blue High Heat paint, which provides a great appearance as well as better heat resistance and durability over standard paints. Like the primer, the Forward Blue top coat is heat resistant up to 650 degrees and looks great on the new engine. Besides this great looking Forward Blue, many other factory engine colors are also available at Eastwood. Now it's time to move on to the oil pan. We were using the original oil pan, so we put it in the blast cabinet to strip the old paint. Eastwood offers many sizes of blast cabinets as well as all the media types you need for the job with a chart to help you get the right media. In a few minutes, the part was completely clean and fast etch was then applied to promote adhesion and prevent rust from forming prior to it being coated. Rather than use paint, Ryan decided to cover the oil pan with the metal blackening system to replicate the look and texture of black oxide. It's a two-component system that's resistant to chemicals like .3 brake fluid and even gasoline. Plus it's heat resistant up to 600 degrees, making it great for this oil pan. It's also ideal for underhood bolts, brackets, and pulleys because it doesn't chip as easily as paint, which is a common issue when tightening bolts. So Ryan used it on most of these components and they all look like new. If you're looking for a great alternative to paint and powder coating that's also highly durable, you should check out the Eastwood metal blackening system. Now, to improve the appearance of the floor, it was covered in rubberized rust encapsulator, which is designed to provide the benefits of both rust encapsulator and rubberized undercoating. Unlike standard undercoating that may bubble in these conditions, this coating is designed to be sprayed over bare metal or rust while protecting against road abrasions and deadening sound. Now it's time to make the frame look new with some 2K chassis paint. The pneumatic rotary removal tool made quick work of the rust, especially in tough areas. It's a nice tool because you can use either wire or abrasive wheels to remove the rust, paint, and dirt, or even attach an eraser wheel if you need to do more delicate work like removing decals from body panels. The frame was cleaned with pre-paint prep and then covered with a new coating that we've been testing. The results have been amazing, so make sure to subscribe to our videos so you get more info when this great product's released. This is another aspect that separates Eastwood from the competition. The people here are car guys and we actually have in-house projects to develop and test products. 2K AeroSpray chassis black gloss finish was sprayed on the frame, giving it a beautiful, shiny, smooth appearance. The fan-like spray pattern, similar to a spray gun, helps provide that nice, even appearance with great coverage. Unlike that tennis ball spray pattern you see in standard aerosol cans, which makes it difficult to get a nice, smooth finish. The rotary removal tool was again used to clean the firewall and was prepped with pre. Here's a quick tip. Aluminum foil is great for covering wiring harnesses before painting because you can wrap it around the wiring and it stays in place. With everything taped off, 2K AeroSpray epoxy primer was used to cover the firewall. Epoxy is a great primer that can be sprayed over bare metal, body fillers, or existing finishes. Ryan chose the low gloss Underhood black to top coat the firewall. Like the epoxy primer, it's a two-component paint, so it will provide added durability. And there's no air compressor needed or a paint gun to clean up, making it a great way to get a superior coating. Like all the AeroSpray coatings, it goes on easy, covers well, and looks great when it's finished. The plastic heater box was coated with plastic resurfacer. Start by prepping the area with pre like you would for paint. Plastic resurfacer is not a paint and it's not a temporary coating like you put on your tires. It's a permanent repair that reflows the plastic and restores the appearance. It's great for bumpers and fender flares that always seem to fade from black to gray in a few years. Plus it will provide years of UV resistance. This really is an amazing coating, but you don't have to believe me, just check out all the 5-star reviews at Eastwood. The radiator support was in rough shape and we decided to clean it with our dustless blasting system, which is nice because you don't need an air compressor nearby. We connected it to a standard pressure washer and used ground glass to quickly remove the rust and paint. With the support clean, it was covered in afterblast to keep it from rusting until we were able to put it in primer. The surface prep tool was used to remove any rust or paint we missed while blasting. The tool uses the common Rolox style backing pad, allowing you to attach many different grits and styles of discs. With the rad support clean, it was covered in 2K AeroSpray epoxy primer and low gloss Underhood black, just like we used for the firewall. Soon the radiator support looked great and was ready to go back in the truck, but there was still more work to do. The original inner fenders were in bad shape, so Ryan got a new set for the truck. The first step was to scuff the factory coating with a non-woven pad to put some tooth in the inner fender for the paint to adhere to. Make sure you get all the areas scuffed before wiping with pre-paint prep. Again, the low-gloss Underhood black was used. As you can see, it goes on easy and smooth, which really shows in the finished fender that has a beautiful low-gloss appearance. And remember, not only does it look great, it's also super durable, and we got these results from an aerosol can. With everything looking great, Ryan decided to paint the underside of the hood as well. Using a dual-action sander for the large areas and a 2-inch orbital grinder for the tight spots, Ryan soon had the hood ready for paint. Based on the amount of pre-paint prep you've seen in this project, you're probably wondering if it's available in larger quantities. And yes, you can also get it in quarts and gallons, as well as the aerosols you see in the video. There's even a low VOC version available. To protect the inside of the hood framework, Ryan sprayed internal frame coating. It's similar to rust encapsulator and has a 2-foot-long hose with a conical nozzle that sprays in a 360-degree pattern to provide complete coverage. It was designed to coat the inside of a chassis to prevent it from rusting from the inside out, but it's also great for rocker panels, A and B pillars, door frames, and everywhere you can't reach with standard paint but want to protect. Here's a tip. Tape wire or a TIG rod onto the hose to help direct it inside these areas and give you more control over the hose. After the inside was coated, the hood was then prepped and sprayed with epoxy primer and top coated with a low gloss Underhood black to match the other parts. The master cylinder was painted with brake gray because it actually resists .3 brake fluid, which is a necessity for a part like this. Brake gray contains pure stainless steel pigment and also withstands temperatures up to 400 degrees. New brake lines were run, and we used the Pro Tubing flaring tool to make the flares. With a few pulls of the handle, you get a perfect flare every time, whether it's for brake, fuel, AC, or transcooler lines. And here's another tip. To put nice even stress reliefs in the tubing, wrap it around a pipe. This gives the tubing a place to stretch as it moves without kinking it or pulling it out of the master cylinder. The wiring was in bad shape, so Ryan used the Crimp-Rite Weather Pack connector kit to make all the necessary repairs and put factory-style connectors on the wiring. The wires were cut off at the old connectors and the seals and terminals installed and crimped onto the wires. The wires were then inserted into the connectors. Once everything was installed, the connectors were clipped together, giving us a factory-like appearance that also looked brand new. To complete the transformation, the wiring was then covered with the Easy Loom sleeves, which not only make the wiring look really nice, but also protect against abrasions and chemicals. Plus, they're easy to install because you don't have to disconnect any wiring. You can see how it really cleans up the engine compartment, even in this old truck. With the hood back on the truck, the engine compartment looks awesome. The Ford blue engine paint, Underhood black, plastic resurfacer, metal blackening system, and all of those specialty paints to match the original appearance of aluminum and cast iron really improve the appearance of this old Ford. Whether you're restoring an entire car or just looking for the best coating for a single part, Eastwood probably has what you're looking for. And don't forget, Eastwood has more than 4,000 products to help you do the job right. From welders and plasma cutters to paint, powder coating supplies, rust solutions, metal fab equipment, blasting supplies, and just about everything in between. To visit Eastwood.com today, click or tap the button in the top corner of the video or follow the link that appears on screen.